Cam, thanks for joining us. Let's start with Colin Kaepernick on the field. What did you see from Kaepernick last night?
Well, thanks for having me, Dan. He played a lot better than we saw the last game, last Friday night against the Packers when he only played a quarter. And it was there were some shades of vintage Kaepernick where he was able to, get the passes on target and take off running the way everybody's seen him. And you try to keep in mind that this is the fourth exhibition against a bunch of last stringers. And he did all right. He thrust himself back into the conversation that he is definitely an NFL quarterback. And if the 49ers, need a number two, he's their guy, because right now it's still probably Blaine Gabbert is the starting quarterback for that team.
And I thought that with Kaepernick playing the majority of the game last night, that meant that Blaine Gabbert starts in week one. But it feels like it's a little tenuous, that situation, that Gabbert can play himself out of that role quickly. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they wanted Blaine to, really secure the job. And he did everything for the most part throughout the exhibition season and training camp. He's acted a lot like the starting quarterback should be. He hasn't been sensational. And I don't know if they really wanted him to. I don't think Chip Kelly unloaded the playbook for him. But at the same time, Kaepernick's been dealing with a sore shoulder through camp. And obviously, there's been a little bit of a controversy that followed him for the last week. And he handled that aspect of it well with a twist last night, too.
All right. Tell me about pregame. First with Kaepernick, then we'll talk about postgame.
Pregame, it was a pretty dramatic scene because you had about 200 servicemen on the field here in San Diego on Military Appreciation Night, and as they were unfurling the flag, Kaepernick went down on a knee, and he didn't do it alone. He went down with Eric Reed, one of their team leaders, and Eric took a knee as well with him. And then to Kaepernick's left, standing up, was Nate Boyer, the Green Beret, and he was a long snapper that played briefly with the Seahawks last training camp and auditioned for the Niners last year. And when the anthem was over, obviously everybody now is aware that Kaepernick was protesting the anthem, and he got a lot of hugs from several 49er teammates. And, during the game, there were a couple other moments where, that protest was put to a test because I think in the second quarter they asked all the veterans to stand up in the crowd, and everybody applauded and recognized them, and Kaepernick stood there and applauded them too. And then after the third quarter, God Bless America was saying, and Kaepernick was standing at attention and applauding just like everybody else. So it was quite a scene throughout the night.
How was the post-game scene?
I don't know if people have seen this side of Colin Kaepernick. I've covered him for 6 years, and I've never seen him, speak so self-assuredly and confident in what he's saying.
It hit me the same way too, Cam. I was like, I interviewed Kaepernick when they were going to the Super Bowl, and he was not very forthcoming. But with this, he's up there and ready to talk.
He can't seem to say enough. Sunday he spoke with us at his locker for about 20 minutes, and then last night at the game, same thing. Pretty much he fielded every question. He didn't back down whatsoever. He stated his case that police are murdering innocent people, oppressed minorities, that police brutality is something that needs to be addressed, that he's not trying to disrespect the U.S. military, that he's very respectful of that, and he's trying to create a dialogue, for racial justice. And last night he also brought up that he's going to try to do some more actions in terms of he's going to be donating the first $1 million he makes this year and get into the communities to try to help everybody because he says they need help.
Yeah, it almost feels like this is so important to him. That would be my only concern if I'm Chip Kelly. What is most important to you? Because as a coach, he's trying to win. It's his first year there. I need to know where your priorities are if I'm going to look at you as a starter on this team. How would Kaepernick answer that?
Hey, that's a great question because it really does seem like he's moonlighting and quarterbacking two things. He's trying to quarterback the 49ers, and now he's trying to quarterback the social movement that is showing signs of catching on, where the Seattle Seahawks, Jeremy Lane, he sat down during the national anthem. Other guys are showing signs that Kaepernick's not alone in this. And I think Chip Kelly, it would be different, Dan, if he was the starting quarterback right now. He's not the starting quarterback. He hasn't played enough. I think this team still is Blaine Gabbert's team, and that's why Chip Kelly kept an open mind about it. trying to give Colin, equal reps, and they've played about basically the same amount of time now in the exhibition season. And at the same time, there's still a lot of friction, I believe, between Kaepernick and the 49ers front office. So ultimately, the call on whether Kaepernick's on the team is going to fall in Trent Baalke's hands, the general manager. And after last night, after he showed that he can still play quarterback, they can't get rid of him.
Cam, thanks for getting up early. We appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dan.
That's Cam Inman. He covers the Niners for the San Jose Mercury News.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.